we're still very far away from creating some independent actor who can just outcompete us and do away with us. But the thing is, there are thinkers who have warned about that potentially becoming a thing, and that's when it gets a little bit, oh my God, you know, how far is this going to go?
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Do you know what it is, man? I think with AI, I think it's going to be a rush. You know, like how there was like the gold rush in LA in like the like early 1900s. I think there's going to be like an AI rush where everyone just like jumps on it, and there'll be like some some people who really capitalize on it and really profit from it, and then like everyone else will just lose out because like within 10 years it'll just be a really saturated market.
Yeah. Oh,
no, within 10 years, AI will own AI. I
think it's one of those things that they've just over exaggerated, like how far we are. Like they're like, oh, it's going to replace jobs and things like that. It's like, it basically is a Google search, right? It's like
an advanced Google search, right?
Yeah,
right now,
exactly.
like it gives you precisely. So with Google, you type something in, you have to spend some time browsing the links and like, you know, checking different websites and so on for what you really want, right? With Chat GBT, which is probably the most famous AI right now, it just gives you whatever you want straight away, right? And when it first came out, a lot of people were like, me included, by the way, I was really scared. You ask it to write like Shakespeare, it can write like Shakespeare, dude. I'm not kidding you. I tested this because I'm working on a new story, and I just said, like, could you write this character like Shakespeare wrote Richard III, and it did it. And I'm thinking, wow, and so that's amazing, but we're still at a stage where it can't do that independently. It still needs the human to ask it what to do. And it still needs that human being to come with the final decision on what goes in, what goes out.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
We're still very far away from creating some independent actor who can just outcompete us and do away with us. But the thing is, there are thinkers who have warned about that potentially becoming a thing. And that's when it gets a little bit, oh my God, you know, how far is this going to go? Like,
but I think it comes down to like, will it ever really truly think, right? Because all it will really be doing is a lot like us in some ways. Like, are we truly thinking generally, right? It's like, how do we know we're not following a program, right? It's like we technically are in some case. Like,
well, yeah, sure. Yeah, right. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah.
So
that's why people are so scared of it, I reckon. Because some people say we're just following a bunch of pre-coded programs, whether that be from our DNA, which we got from our parents and our ancestors, or whether that be norms and values that we learned about when we were growing up. But either way, we're following a set of predetermined code in a way. So if you do that with machines, then at what point do they become independent, or at least think they are independent? And at what point do they then look at us and go, well, they're just at what point do they look at us and see us as the Neanderthals, basically?
Yeah. Or like, are we going to sort of hybrid sort of mix with it, you know? Like,
yeah, right. I mean, there's stuff Elon Musk's working on something, isn't he? Which suggests that could be an option, maybe.
Yeah, but he always drops stuff like that, right? It's like that's Elon's thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this crazy weird thing, and it's just like stop doing it, Elon, man.
No, but man, he sent a car into space, man. I mean, where would you
like,
do without him?
Like, he's like, oh, this mission to Mars, and like, I'm not like dissing him or anything, but it's like all you've managed to do right now is basically litter space. It's like, come on, man, what are you doing? Like,
but he needs time.
You've got a car up there, and cars aren't very good in space, are they? So, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
He needs time, man.